Get your tickets now for the movie that has critics everywhere calling it the best film of the year. A cinematic masterpiece. See this film on the biggest screen possible.
You have to protect her.
I promise. The Creator, rated PG-13. Friday. Get tickets now.
Let's just call it what it is, folks. The Creator is a cinematic masterpiece. And most definitely do you need to see this film on the biggest screen possible. Folks, let's get into my review of this new film right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film, The Creator, coming to theaters September 29th. Listen, go get your tickets. That's it. That's the review. Just go get your tickets. No, but seriously, do yourself a favor. And when you do get your tickets, go see this on the biggest screen, the best definition available, because it is a spectacle and it is truly a cinematic masterpiece. First of all, put some respect on Gareth Edwards' name, because yeah, the best Star Wars film to date is Rogue One. And for everybody who enjoyed just the visuals, obviously the story was just amazing, but like, we had not seen anything close to that in the Star Wars universe until that film was released, because just there was so much heart in that film, but yet just visually stimulating from scene to scene, that I really have been excited to see what Gareth was going to come up with. And the fact that this film was so near and dear to him, so special, to the point that like this is clearly influenced by Rogue One. And in fact, because he is the director and writer, this is his version of Rogue One. Let's just call it what it is. Especially that third act, man. You're like, oh yeah, I definitely see Rogue One going on here. Oh, this is how he would have ended Rogue One. Gotcha. No problem. Because we know Rogue One had to end the way it did, even though we didn't want it to end the way it did. But it is what it is. But no, this is the story about AI and robotics and rewriting history in the time, just to show you over time what eventually AI and robotics could be in the world. So yes, there's some good, but there's some bad, but ultimately there is conflict. And with the conflict, the US was attacked by AI in LA, and that was a nuclear bomb that definitely sent US in a swirl and in a crusade to stop and destroy all AI in New Asia. So, you know, we're like this. Hey, okay, yeah, that was unnecessary. They nuked us, so we're just like, all right, so we're going to come over there and just get rid of all of your AI. And yeah, with that, we send this USS Nomad, which is his spaceship, which is that spaceship you see in the air and all the trailers and whatnot, which is really cool. But that thing is like, it might as well be the Death Star, because when that thing pulls up, it's going down. So when folks see it, they get to run it. And that thing is completely destructive the entire time. And that brings us to the character Joshua, played by John David Washington. Now, I'll be 100 here. I have been a little bit skeptical about John David Washington acting. I think that, you know, he's never been bad, but he's never been great. And I think in Tenet, that was a film that we were like hoping for it to be like his come out part. We was hoping for him to like really have his big performance that was really going to send him to the next level, but we haven't quite had that yet. I think this is one that folks will talk about. I enjoy just the emotion. I also got to say, like, the fact that he worked with this young kid, Madeleine Yuna Voyles, who plays the character Alfie. I think that, like, not only is it just good chemistry and like you can really tell like this brother, big brother, little sister dynamic, but I think it's ultimately very responsible of John David Washington in working scenes with Madeleine, because I could just see that not only Madeleine just a star and flat out kills the role as Alfie, But I just think like you have to have good chemistry and good trust and a good bond to really make a lot of the scenes work, because any scene that Alfie's on, as the viewer, you're like, protect Alfie by any means necessary. And the fact that Joshua is definitely taking just like straight up commands from the audience, because we're looking at you like, protect Alfie by any means necessary, I think truly is just that emotional connection of Joshua in ensuring that he does his job, but also John David Washington in really creating that belief that his character truly does care about him, and not just the job of acting, but it is truly a utmost concern and emotion about the wear and care of Alfie. But yeah, Joshua is a little bit of a double agent here. One is in the U.S. he's part of the U.S. in New Asia in order to get information about the AI labs and their weapon, which their weapon happens to be Alfie, right? So while he's there, you know, it is a bit of a conflict between AI and humanity, and he has a job, but he has a wife, and with his wife, that's truly all he cares about. Like, straight up, his wife is his utmost priority, and when his wife is killed, whatever he was there for didn't matter. It all became about him going to look for his wife, as there had been rumors and some intel that she may be alive when it appeared that she had died. So Narmada is this AI company, and he is tasked to get to Narmada, give it the location, so that this big old USS Nomad spaceship can come through and just destroy this thing. So that's pretty much the plot. It pretty much covers over about 15 years. You know, you get the bomb, and then 5 years later, after he loses his wife, and it ultimately was 15 years since the initial bomb. So we like see him really struggling with his day to day after losing his wife, because his wife was everything. And while his whole goal and to be there was to search for Narmada, his wife had sort of different perspectives about this AI versus humanity war. Could we all live in peace together? Or the U.S., who's truly like the bad guys in this, don't want anything to do with AI. And the fact that like these AI people and should we say robots are so human-like, like it, you feel for them. Like, they call them things, but you, and their mannerism gives you like humans, you know, with tech. So like, I think as the viewer, you do deal with a lot of like internal conflict about the battle and the war of AI, but ultimately like the ramifications of AI in society today. And again, because this rewrites history, anything that's happening here on this movie probably would never happen for many years to come. So you don't have to worry about that, but it still has you to like evaluate like the true dangers of AI, you know, but at the same time too, can we live in peace together? Possibly. And then Joshua, who's completely motivated to find his wife, who just doesn't care about this mission at all, which doesn't make the U.S. happy at all, you know, So like, there's a lot to really work with the plot. And while I say all this too, there is some things in the plot that I did not think added up. I don't want to get too much into detail, but like this USS Nomad spaceship, this thing is like operating from like a satellite like altitude. How the hell can this thing not find Narmada itself, since it's just going across into different countries and just, you know, flying across, getting all this recon? I'm like, well, why do you need soldiers on ground when you got this thing in space basically being able to look down? I don't know. That was one of my biggest things. But anyway, the design of the tech, design of the folks, the robots, the tanks, all of the designs in this is fantastic. The visuals, the fights, the aerial stuff, the space stuff. All of it. Amazing. Acting. Amazing. The score is done by the great Hans Zimmer. Is there anything to doubt here with this one? So up and down, like I'm telling you, when it comes down to like building a film that was like filmed in I think 80 countries, I think it was, or something like that, it really don't get any better than this. Like the film just it really when you want to go see a film and you want to feel like you're seeing the biggest and best film ever, this film nailed it to the T. Like, everything about this felt granular. There was never a moment where you just did not feel like you were in something that was just bigger than anything you had ever seen before. I think this feeling for this is what, like, filmmakers today, when they were kids, when they seen like Godzilla or when they seen like Star Wars for the first time, like, this just will change the game. And again, for shooting in 80 locations, and you know, Gareth talked about, because you think like, how in the world did he film in 80 locations when, you know, that costs a lot of money. He talked about filming in 80 locations. He had a $300 million budget, by the way. But he talked about filming in 80 different locations, but with a small enough crew so that when they had to go from location to location, it was cheaper to do that than to set up and build things and limit the travel. So, like, he not only is about to change the game in terms of filmmaking, but truly this will be a pivotal milestone for that and for everyone to remember. But at the same time, what he's done with this alone should this be worth to talk about here. So I can't emphasize enough that The Creator is a cinematic masterpiece, a film you do not want to miss. It is a long film, but it does a lot of beautiful and amazing things that keeps you invested the entire time. Well, listen, with a film that is 2 hours and 13 minutes, I'm going to tell you that your eyes will be glued for 2 hours and 13 minutes of everything that's happening, things in the background. Listen, you take away anything that's happening and you just show from location to location, just the locations that they filmed in alone were just fascinating. And then when you add the action, when you add this tech, when you add the conflict in the war and the explosions, because yeah, Joshua, John David Washington character, he gets blown up like a couple of times in this. It all just truly keeps you, it keeps you so attached. It keeps you so emotionally connected with these characters. It just, by all means, you just will be invested the entire time. So with that being said, and with your thoughts about AI and the US versus AI and US versus New Asia, who again, I truly believe that the US are the bad guys in this, because we was just going over there just starting trouble. It will personally have you sort of reevaluate your thoughts about AI a little bit. But even if you take that emotional connection out of it, you just will enjoy it because it's just a spectacular film. And again, from John David Washington, from Madeleine, Gemma Chan, who plays Maya, who is Joshua's wife, Kenneth Wannabe. It just goes on and on. This is a film that everybody will be talking about for years. I can't wait to check it out again. I can't wait to own this because I need to have this at my fingertips. And the fact that, you know, I got my home set up fully ready for something like this, I can't wait to be able to just pop this on whenever I'm just needing something to throw in on the background, just to show folks what I got going on here. It's just one of those type of movies, man. So check it out, folks. Jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about it when you do. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.